When 29-year-old Taylor Michelle Pomaski vanished in the spring of 2021, her disappearance initially looked like a routine missing person report, the kind that quietly enters a database and rarely makes headlines. But within days, investigators realized this was not someone who simply walked away. Taylor had been living in fear long before the night she vanished. Spring, Texas, a quiet middle-class neighborhood on Stallion Brook Lane, the kind where nights fade into routine, porch lights, barking dogs, and TVs glowing behind curtains. That Sunday night, a small gathering took place at the house. Music played, drinks flowed. To neighbors, it looked ordinary. Inside, it wasn't. Witnesses later described tension, a heated argument, raised voices behind closed doors. Taylor was seen crying, then trying to hide it. One guest said she looked eager to leave, but never did. Another claimed she was briefly locked inside a room. By midnight, the guests drifted away. Taylor never left with them. Her purse was still inside, her phone, her dog, her car sat untouched in the driveway. Yet no one called the police. No missing person report was filed. One detail from that night would resurface later. A neighbor remembered looking outside and seeing a small fire burning in the backyard. Not a bonfire, not a cookout, but a control flame that burned briefly, then disappeared before sunrise. At the time, she thought nothing of it. For Taylor's family, silence became the alarm. She never missed calling her mother. She always replied to friends. After April 25th, her phone stopped moving, stopped pinging towers, stopped responding. Days passed, then weeks. On May 9th, Mother's Day, Taylor's parents contacted the Harris County Sheriff's Office. The first welfare check revealed nothing obvious. No forced entry, no overturned furniture. Her belongings were untouched, as if she planned to come back. The homeowner, Kevin Ware Jr., gave the same vague statement each time. She left on foot. She hasn't returned. No details. No explanation. No timeline. Taylor wasn't officially entered into national databases until nearly 2 weeks later. Long after surveillance footage had been overwritten and digital trails had gone cold. But investigators were growing certain of one thing. Taylor didn't run away. She didn't start a new life. In the weeks before her disappearance, friends noticed changes. She canceled plans. Her messages became short and distant. She told people she was scared, then laughed it off. She once said, "If anything happens to me, remember this," and never finished the sentence. On April 7th, police had responded to her home for a domestic disturbance. Body cam footage showed Taylor avoiding eye contact, quietly insisting she was fine. She didn't press charges. The case was closed. Months later, investigators would say the footage looked very different after she disappeared. In June, nearly 2 months after Taylor vanished, forensic teams returned to the Stallion Brook house. This time, they weren't searching for a missing person. They were searching for evidence. In the bathroom, beneath freshly cleaned surfaces, trace amounts of Taylor's blood were discovered. More traces were found deep within the hallway carpet. Outside, soil samples from the backyard revealed burned synthetic fibers and chemical compounds consistent with the combustion of bone. This was not a trash fire. It was an attempt to destroy evidence. Cell phone records later painted an even darker picture. Kevin Ware Jr. S phone remained at the house all night. At 6:13 a.m., it moved to a remote rural area north of Houston. It stopped for 22 minutes, less than a mile from where remains would later be found. He never returned to that location. Witnesses also reported seeing him power wash in the patio the following morning. Others noted inconsistencies in his story. Jailhouse informants later claimed he spoke about cleaning something up and getting rid of a problem. Then, on December 10th, 2021, nearly 8 months after Taylor vanished, a work crew clearing brush near an isolated drainage ditch made a discovery. Burned fabric, warped metal, fragments of bone. Dental records confirmed the remains belonged to Taylor Pomaski. Her family was notified just before Christmas. The case was officially ruled a homicide. In July 2022, prosecutors presented their evidence to a Harris County grand jury. Cell tower data, forensic findings, witness testimony, and Taylor's complete digital silence beginning the night she vanished. The grand jury returned an indictment. Kevin Ware Jr. was charged with murder and tampering with a human corpse. Taylor's story is not just about a woman who disappeared. It's about warning signs that went unnoticed, fear that was minimized, silence that came too late. Taylor didn't run. She didn't abandon her life. Someone took her voice. An investigator spent over a year piecing together the whispers she left behind. If you want more true crime stories like this, don't forget to like and subscribe.